Welcome back to Julius Blue TV. Welcome back to your latest Chelsea news. We have 12 games left before we can change the course of our season. For some reason, even though we keep finding ourselves holding these L's every single week, we are still in the position technically we can finish in top 5 or top 4, or we can skewer the UCL. And today's video, guys, we're gonna talk about the lineup for tomorrow's game versus Southampton, and we're gonna talk about everything Enzo Maresca talked about in the press conference, because we need to win this game. We have 2 games that we have to win so we can secure the UCL. So maybe we can secure maybe some better players. Maybe we can secure some sponsor on the front shirt. As you guys remember, when all these players were like when they signed for us, there was clause in it saying like if you don't have UCL, every single player earns less money than they want to. That's the reality of this situation, and that's what has been causing us signing some better players, because we have no Champions League and all that. All we can will, man, right now is we can get a win against Southampton, because we really need this, because we know Southampton is likely to get relegated, because right now all we need is 3 points. I don't care about the performance, I only care about the 3 points. We have 2 games coming up against relegation candidate, and Leicester is another one before the international. Southampton is a team that is likely to get relegated. If there is hope right now, is to win this game to get a booster before the international break. And we have 2 games before that is Leicester, and after that we have Copenhagen. And you like to think that there's a potential of us getting 3 points. That's the likely, because I cannot take anything than 6 points out of these two games coming up at home. We're gonna be at home, and we all know how bad is Southampton and Leicester, because as you remember from Villa, that howler from Jorgensen, we could have got at least 1 point, because we put in effort in that game. We put in everything, but we did not get the point. But I hope Jorgensen can play this next game, and then let's show our quality, just to be able to take our moments and show what we can do. Southampton have their strength. Mateo Hernandez has been an exceptional young talent, and you cannot forget about Soleimani. He's a tall guy, he can dribble, he's a massive powerhouse of a striker. They have few players who can cause us an issue if you're not on point, but Southampton has been bad. They have only won 1 game out of 16 in the Premier League. That's bad. They only have 9 points. That's very bad as a Premier League team. So guys, I'm not going to be going too much. I don't want to talk about too much. I don't want to keep knowing, guys. So guys, hit that like button, man, if you have not done it. Let's get into this preview. In terms of press conference, Enzo Maresca, Trevor Chalobah is said to miss 10 to 7 days. At least he should be back after the international break. Fair enough. Jorgensen will remain as the #1 goalkeeper. It's very nice to know if he's still going to be the goalkeeper, and that's very nice for me. I like it. But people can make mistakes. If Jorgensen can make one howler mistake, and Robert Sanchez can make 5 howler leading to a goal, and then we just drop Jorgensen for 1 mistake, I don't think. Surely Jorgensen can be very disappointed for this performance, because you guys remember before that howler mistake, he made 4 pure saves. He made those saves, and he showed you guys what he was capable of doing. But for me, I don't think Jorgensen, we should leave him like that. We should just leave him. For me, I think Jorgensen is still a nice goalkeeper, and he's still a good goalkeeper, better than Robert Sanchez. Let's see what happens there. Enzo Maresca spoke about his respect for Southampton, as well can expect. But one thing he said, this game is a must-win game. Surely we have to win. Surely this is a game we have to stop. We have to pack. We have to score as many goals as possible, because when it comes at the end of the season, this top 4, this top 5 is going to be about goals. Because if you see all the teams around us, we all have like 1 point ahead of each other, 2 points, not even that much, man. And I think the only team you can say they're gonna get that top 1 and 2 is Liverpool and Arsenal in this league. But the rest of them, I think it's gonna be about the goals and the points, just a margin of points. But if you can get 2-0 win, I'm gonna be okay. Another question is, why do we keep finding ourselves in this situation? At least 2 goals. Why do we need 2 goals to have a lead so we can win a game? Because I talked about it at the beginning of the season. I said we are unexperienced. This is what's going to be happening because, as you got to remember, Liverpool in that season where they were like when they won the league, they were just scoring goals for fun, and that's how they end up staying up top there. But as Enzo said, we have 12 games left. That's the priority. We have to win. It's a must-win game. We cannot lose any game. We cannot lose any game. We have 7 more games at home, and we have to win them. As he mentioned, the fact that even the teams like Man United, Southampton, they were leading 2 goals right at the end until they messed things up. We cannot be gassed for this game because just because they're sitting at the bottom of the league does not mean we don't give teams chances. We do that. And for me, Southampton, we have to take them seriously. Just because even if you see the last game, I don't think they were that bad, but they did it, man. Just from that game from Villa, we had a lead, and then we lost 2-1, man. And as it's been this season in the Premier League, we have dropped about. We've been leading about about 13 points until we lose it. That's what the start today came out, and I was so shocked. Like, how are we been leading? Most of the games this season we have lost, we've been leading until we lost. As you guys remember, even at Man City game, we were leading until we lost that game. And for me, that's the game that I was saying, Enzo Maresca this season, for me, I think I'm done, and I don't know what's going to happen. But there's still hope for top 4, and I think we can get that, man. So, guys, on Enzo Maresca's all press conference, that's all. But let's talk about a bit more about the press conference. Enzo Maresca talked about Cole Palmer, and he said Cole Palmer is going to be missed this season. But the one thing that I was saying, like Cole Palmer, he was saying like Cole Palmer is still a human as well. But we cannot expect him to win every single game every week. But for me, I think Cole Palmer this season, man, he's been okay. But it's not the same season as last season because this season he's been under a system, he's been under a better structure than even last season. But for me, I want to say this, man. Roberto Vega was here, Kani Chukwuemeka was here. They were barely given minutes. Chukwuemeka was told for months that he's not going to be playing until he was. And then the first thing I want to talk about is Enzo Maresca. He talked about Chris Van Kunku. He said Chris Van Kunku like he's going to help us in this game and score some goals. But for me, it was up to me. I'm not going to be playing Chris Van Kunku because Chris Van Kunku is not been that guy. And for me, there's no point to have him in this team right now. We cannot face that. We are facing now the reality right now. Even if you guys remember, I said that Felix was a better option to stay. Man, I like Chris Van Kunku, and I was happy when he stayed and like Felix left. But the fact was this: Felix is the better playing as the number 9 and there. And for me, I don't know, man. But him going and him staying, Chris Van Kunku, I think for me, I can always see Chris Van Kunku going in the summer. We can criticize that, but Cole Palmer, I want to go back to his point because we know Cole Palmer is been our best player. He's allowed to have a dip, he's allowed to have some little bit. But the lack of understanding of Chris Van Kunku and Cole Palmer has been trouble because, as you remember, Cole Palmer has already been used to direct of Nicola Jackson because that's what they were like so much. They were so much good at attacking because Jackson is an attack. He's a very direct player than Chris Van Kunku. I'm not gonna say Chris Van Kunku is that kind of player, but I don't think Chris Van Kunku is a direct player. But Jackson was a difference from him, and that's why Palmer was get used to Jackson. But Palmer and Kunku, they have not played really games together. But can I blame Palmer for being selfish against Villa? Yes, he was selfish, and I already criticized that. I've said Cole Palmer should have passed that ball to Chris Van Kunku. We could have won it. Maybe it takes 2 to tango, but Maresca have said he been our best player, and we've been relying too much on Cole Palmer. And for me, I think that was one thing I was saying we cannot be doing this season. We have to build a structure. That's why Maresca came here, so he can build a structure. But Maresca, he set up in the Pacifico, because some games he have done, he's been more like we are relying more on Cole Palmer, but Pacific in this last game against Aston Villa, he changed the structure, and you guys saw the difference. We almost won that game, and we are not that bad with Pedro Neto playing at the number 9, all the kind of stuff. But so, guys, that's all in the press conference. And now let's talk about my starting 11. I feel like the lineup has been getting simpler and simpler. Up front, I will be continuing with Pedro Neto, very impressive. But then on the left hand side, I'll bring back my boy Jadon Sancho, and then on the right hand side, I'll put in George, and then in the 10 I'll put in Cole Palmer, because for me the last game Cole Palmer was a non-existence, but he missed some chances, and I think he'll do well. And then in the middle I'll put in back Maresca and Enzo Fernandez, but these players are getting run in the ground because they've been doing a lot of work, and especially Maresca. If we lose this guy, I don't know what we can do this season. And then I'll play, like in the center back, I'll play Liver Cowell. As you guys know, Trevor Chalobah is not going to be playing. And then I'll play Tosin, as you should be in anyway. But so, to Chalobah, like him getting hurt, that doesn't really change anything. And then on the left hand side, I'll put in Kukurea, and I'll put in Reece James. But Reece James, the last game he played the whole game, so I don't know what's going to be happening in this game. Is he going to be inviting into the midfield? Let's see. And so, guys, let me know in the comment down below what are your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and take care of yourself, and God bless you.